Back in Logan, Utah, a 20-7 lead for San Diego State on Utah State at the half. It is 20 straight points for San Diego State. Our Bud Light game summary, 230 rushing yards for the Aztecs in the first half. After the opening touchdown drive for Utah State, just 14 yards of offense. With Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell on the sideline, I'm Carter Blackburn. 7-0 Utah State. A couple of those big San Diego State streaks went by the wayside, and all they did was respond, and now they lead 20-7.
They were dominant in all three phases. San Diego State did exactly what they needed to do. Very fitting for Rocky Long, who's an old school coach, running the football, playing great defense on the road.
It's a 7th straight 100-yard rushing game for Donnell Pumphrey. Aztecs sticking with the game plan in the first half.
Footing was an issue early for Donnell Pumphrey. It started drizzling right before the game, but he started to get lathered up and take over. This offensive line has done a beautiful job, including the tight ends, David Wells in particular, doing some nice blocking. But Pumphrey showing you that patience, that acceleration, and then it was the defense's turn. Absolutely dominant against the pass, against the run, putting pressure on Kent Myers, not letting any of the running backs have any room to run. It was all San Diego State in the first half.
Let's take a look at our Lowe's game improvements.
Well, pretty simply for San Diego State, they've got to finish strong and not let what happened to them on the road at South Alabama, where they got heavily outscored in the second half. And for Utah State, they've got to get some juice, steal a possession, make something happen defensively. No takeaway so far tonight. It's raining. They've got to get one. And I think offensively, they've got to connect on some deep shot, get some big plays down the field.
Lowe's never stop improving. The Aztecs lead the all-time series 11-1. The only Utah State win in 1967 in San Diego. This is the Aztecs' first trip to Logan since 1975. And Aggie team who's 1-3 in conference play gets the football to begin the second half. Gerald Bright is wrapped up inside the 20-yard line. Chance for us to check with Jenny Dell.
Well, guys, I spoke with Utah State head coach Matt Wells, and he said the game plan coming into the game and for the second half is still the same, and it all depends on the front seven of both sides of the ball. He said running the ball and stopping the run. We need to come off the ball up front and get blocks off the D-line. And when we're in the red zone, we need to come away with a touchdown. Those opportunities are way too far and far between.
Well, it was an opening drive touchdown for Utah State, and then 4 straight punts. Again, just 14 yards of offense after the opening touchdown drive. Ken Myers, the junior quarterback from Rowlett, Texas.
Big as you are, you think I'd be able to catch up?
Incomplete on first down, missed an easy throw to the outside, intended for Colston Green. So that's the first half possessions in numerical form. How the Aggies struggled after the opening drive.
I mean, it was 3 straight 3-and-outs and then a 4-and-out. I mean, this is basically the inverse of what San Diego State did. They got stopped early, and it's been all points ever since.
Myers on second down, quarterback keeper gets a nice block on the edge to take it to the 23. To bring up third down, Ronley Lakalaka on the stop there on Myers.
After that incompletion, they run on second down and give themselves a chance to convert. Only 1 for 5 on third down in the first half. I'm a big believer that the first drive to start the second half can set the tone. I don't want to over dramatize this, but I think this is a pretty important play here for this Aggie team.
3rd and 5 as the rain continues to fall. Bright in the backfield along with Myers. Hit as he throws, complete. Tarver has it. Tarver spinning across the 30 has the first down. Lakalaka makes the stop. Myers to Tarver, and a nice move to pick up the first.
Yeah, it was just some penetration right out of the gate, and Alex Barrett hitting him right as he releases the football. Credit Myers standing in that pocket to get a critical pickup on third down.
Just the second third down conversion, just the 6th first down in the game for Utah State. Myers pumps, pressured again, incomplete. Lewis drops it again. Alex Barrett again getting the pressure from defensive end for San Diego State.
Alex Barrett just doing a nice job of getting pressure. beating the offensive lineman off the snap. There he is on the right side. The guard lunges, just typical swim move, very basic move, but he runs it to perfection. And Hockle again, 74, getting Myers hit as he throws the football.
Malik Smith shows pressure. Here he comes. 2nd and 10. Lindsey takes the handoff. Maybe a couple. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Aggies.
One of the things that the Aztecs are so good at is canceling gaps. Defensively, every person on the field has a gap or a hole, the space in between the offensive blockers that they're responsible for. What the Aztecs do such a good job of is getting penetration up the field to cancel those gaps, making it really difficult to run the football.
Third and 8. Here come the Aztecs. Myers steps up, delivers downfield, incomplete. Intended for Lewis with Cameron Kelly in coverage. 4th down, Utah State will punt again.
There was a little bit of pressure there late off of Myers' right side in his face, so he throws the football maybe a little sooner than he wanted to. Looked like Lewis had maybe half a step there, but once again an errant pass, and the Aggies are forced to punt.
5th straight punt for Utah State.
Aztecs with a ton of early down success, making it hard to convert for the Aggies.
Fair catch. Truxton has it at the 27. Donnell Pumphrey. It took until the 2nd quarter. That was the surprise for Pumphrey to get to 81, was that it was the 2nd quarter to move into 5th place all time. So it's now Ron Dane, Ricky Williams, Tony Dorsett, D'Angelo Williams, and Donnell Pumphrey, and he is on pace to move past them all.
It's incredible. I mean, look at that list of running backs that's up on the screen right now. Just incredible collegiate and pro careers for most of them. And this is a guy, we'll call it West Coast biased or group of 5 or mid-majors, whatever you want to say. But this guy's been a quiet kept secret for college football for most of his career, but he's starting to get the Heisman love that he deserves.
Takes it again on 1st down. Pumphrey across the 35-yard line. So he would have, coming into tonight, he would have to average 125 per game if San Diego State plays in a conference championship and a bowl game. That'd be a 14-game season. He comes in averaging 178, so 125 a game is well within his grasp. And let's see, Pumphrey is at 159 right now. And oh, by the way, he didn't play the 4th quarter and much of the 3rd quarter last week against San Jose State. I mean, they've been pulling him, not pumping the numbers, but preventing the numbers as he pumps up the numbers himself, shoved out of bounds. And the Aggie defense right now looks like they have had enough of Pumphrey and this San Diego State offensive line.
Yeah, and they're just getting gashed right now. And Pumphrey did a really nice job on that last run of setting up the block of Nick Bodden. Look at him, patient there, patient. Boom. Sets him up, fakes outside, cuts up inside. That's a beautiful example right there of his patience and vision, which has allowed him to be such a successful rusher.
San Diego State, the only school that offered him as a running back. Takes it on 1st down, slipping across the 40. And Donnell Pumphrey tackled by Rockamore. Sunday 4 Eastern. Join us on the pitch as we bring you a Sunshine State North American Soccer League matchup between the Jacksonville Armada and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Both sides look to end their regular season on a high note, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Ever tell you my soccer tryout story?
No.
Where the warm-up was 4 laps, and on the 3rd lap, I ran right to the payphone and called my mom. I told her I didn't like soccer.
Rashad Penny takes it on 2nd down, 3rd and short coming. I like how you were topically following up on the graphic after that NASL matchup coming your way.
I'm starting to figure this TV thing out, Carter.
Next an Emmy.
There was also a swimming tryout, and I kid you not, the guy asked me if I knew how to swim.
And the answer was?
Yes, right. I did. It was just 6 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't in very good shape.
I'm glad you found football.
That's all that was left.
3rd and short. Rashad Penny easily picks up the first down inside the Utah State 30. Tongiai makes the stop on Rashad Penny. Boy, I mean, when Utah State takes the football, drives down 7-0, they score against the vaunted San Diego State defense. They have a lead in a regular season conference game, first time in almost a year. And what an example of what San Diego State does to its opponents, this performance tonight.
3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 4 and out was what followed that first drive. That's just making adjustments and guys doing their job. What allowed the Aggies to have success early was getting Kent Myers' legs involved. Misdirection, him faking like he was going to toss the ball, getting guys out of position, moving the defense off of its spot, getting them out of their gaps, and he would run vertically. They also hit a pass early on, taking advantage of Kalen Montgomery. Remember we talked about him filling in for Billy Bond and Derek Babish. We're both suspended and some injuries back there. But after that, man, it was just no go. The Aztecs buckled down and to give him room to do anything.
Chapman tossed to Pumphrey on 2nd down. Finds the edge again. Pumphrey delivers the blow as he goes out of bounds. Gage Ferguson. Donnell Pumphrey seeks out the safety and nails him as he goes out of bounds.
That's that physical element to his game, playing with a chip on his shoulder. We saw Gage Ferguson make a great play earlier in the game, but you see Pumphrey swell up on him. See, you want some of this 172, boy? Come get some.
Ooh.
Look at him. He's flexing on him. He loves it. And I love it too, man.
What fire. Lined up as a wideout now, Pumphrey. Chapman gonna roll back across. Chapman just dumps it to the sideline. On what looked like a busted play was Devin Centers, who finally gets to Chapman. 3rd down coming up for the Aztecs. And this could be 4th down. Correction. That was 3rd down. This is 4th and 7. And kicking unit coming on.
Hey, that's a win for the Aggies defense. Forcing a field goal. Matt Wells telling Jenny at halftime that we need to do better in the red zone when we get down there, convert. Well, they need to get there first offensively, but for them to force another field goal by San Diego is another step in the right direction to keep them in this game.
43-yarder in the rain, easily good for John Barron. He is 3 for 3 kicking tonight, 23-7. San Diego State leads it. Aggies get the football, needing some momentum.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. By Rolaids, kick acid and gas with Rolaids Advanced. And by Auto Trader. Find the perfect new, used, or certified pre-owned car on Auto Trader.
Halloween Howl, all the talk around Logan. I mean, since 1978, Halloween Howl has been a huge, also the banana. It's especially slippery with the rain banana.
Keep going.
I'm not,
You're doing good.
Not sure if I should. 23-7 now, San Diego State. First game this year that the Aztecs have kicked 3 field goals. So that's the good news for Utah State. They held them out of the end zone. Bad news is they have struggled mightily to get something going offensively. Bright decides to bring it out, and he is dropped at the 15. So that costs him 10 yards. The Home Depot SEC on CBS with the classic Jacksonville matchup, Florida and Georgia. Both coming off bye weeks, 3:30 Eastern time for the Gators and the Bulldogs. It begins with CBS College Football Special presented by Jeep and Auto Trader. College Football Today.
Just one of the classic matchups in college football history. And Florida's defense, man, everybody's talking about Alabama and how well they're doing. Well, Florida leads the SEC conference in defense. Tremendous secondary. Watching that freshman Jacob Eason take on that secondary is going to be fun to watch.
Myers to the air to the outside. Complete. Colston Green. We'll have another one from Jacksonville next week with Notre Dame Navy, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Jenny and I will be there. Aaron will be in the SEC.
Have to light some candles in the grottos for my Irish, but that's a nice pitch and catch, something that's been elusive for this offense. I don't know if it's the weather being a combination of what's going on, but errant passes, receivers not being able to bring them down, and constant pressure by the Aztecs have made it tough to throw for the Aggies.
Myers going to hand off Devontae Mays. Stop maybe half a yard short of the first down. Third down coming up. Well, it looks like, speaking of Navy, looks like the Bulls of South Florida are going to hand Navy their second loss of the year.
Yeah, they rebounded really nicely after that loss to Air Force, knocking off Houston. Willie Taggart's got that USF team playing pretty well.
Play action, Myers to Wyatt Houston, who makes the grab and goes rolling to near the 50. The senior tight end finally shoved out by Laka. 25 yards, biggest pass play of the night for Utah State.
Just a really nice job of a play call off the play action. Beautiful ball. Just getting outside the pocket this time. It's San Diego State. Here he is right here. He's going to fake like he's going to block in and then roll out, as we're going to see Kent Myers turn his back to the defense on the naked bootleg. Just throw the ball on the money. One of the biggest pickups we've seen so far tonight from the Aggies through the air. But unfortunately, there's a player down.
That's the right tackle, Preston Brooksby, who is very slow getting up for Utah State. We've seen a couple of defensive players go down for Utah State, and now the right tackle Brooksby helped to the sideline.
Yeah, this is an offensive unit that is pretty experienced. Over 100+ combined starts across the front. Preston Brooksby, the fourth-year player with Peoria, Arizona, transferred from Glendale Community College, has been a fixture on this offensive line. It's going to make their job even tougher against this pretty active Aztec defense.
Lindsey in the backfield on 1st and 10. Myers, deep shot, incomplete. Overshooting Tarver with Ron Smith in coverage as we check with Jenny.
Yeah, I spoke with head coach Matt Wells, and he said, you have to remember, I've been on the same sideline as Rocky Long, and his defense is not beat by any magic call. There's nothing that the offensive coordinator is going to outsmart him with. And remember, guys, the offensive coordinator is his brother, Luke Wells. And Luke said that, you know, usually when you're watching a team, you can pick out a guy that doesn't play hard or physical, but all 11 players go 100 miles per hour on Rocky Long's defense.
It's really the difference. Myers screen, that's caught. That's Houston again. So trying to get it to Wyatt Houston, the tight end who didn't have a catch in the first half, 2 in the second. But that's very well put by Luke Wells.
Yeah, no doubt. And these guys are so active, and Houston's a great playmaker for him. Had 5 catches for 43 yards and a touch a week ago. Very quiet first half. But because of the little bit of success that they had to start this drive, the Aztecs are respecting their run game just enough to give these tight ends some creases on the rollout bootleg game.
Myers loses the football. That is incomplete. It's a forward pass, and it's incomplete. Dakota Turner got his hand on it.
Dakota Turner, number 41. To your point, you said it earlier in the game. Here he is at the bottom of the screen. It's a slide protection, which forces the back to be able to take that outside C gap, and it's just too much for Tony Lindsay. And Dakota Turner, the converted fullback, he was a D lineman, then they tried to make him a fullback. They moved him over after about the 3rd or 4th game, and he makes a nice play here on 3rd down.
4th down, offense staying on the field, but
ruling on the field is a forward, incompleted pass.
All right, so let's take a look to see whether this could possibly be a fumble. The key is control of the football as the arm moves forward.
It's really close. He's throwing, trying to release the football. We need to slow it down. Man, that is close. His arm's clearly coming forward, but where does Turner hit it? Has it started to move forward? It's really hard to tell, and going to be very, very close.
Here's the rule. Any intentional movement of his hand or arm with the ball firmly in his control starts the forward pass. When in question, the ball is passed and not fumbled. It was ruled a pass on the field.
Ruled a pass on the field, and if tie goes to the runner, if you will, and I think this is going to stay as called. This will stand.
And again, when in question, go all legalese on that. If you say, all right, when in question, it's a forward pass, it's called a forward pass, and say the replay official has to be convinced beyond all doubt to overturn it, that's a pretty high burden of proof. But David Dumas, the replay official, taking a look.
I don't think they're going to have enough for that, and this is actually really beneficial because it gives Utah State ample time to discuss what this next play call is going to be. You're at midfield, you got great field position, you're at a point in the game where your possessions are going to be limited because of the success that San Diego State has had running the football. I think you almost have to go for it here on fourth.
To review, the ruling is a fumble recovered by the defense on the 41-yard line. First down, San Diego State. Put 5:25 on the clock. Thank you.
Wow, that's a tough break for Matt Wells' team. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think that there was conclusive evidence to turn that over. But just an unlucky break for the Aggies. Nothing going right tonight. San Diego State taking control on the road.
We'll take another look at the fumble in a moment, but for now, our Geico difference makers. Ken Myers has the only score of the night for Utah State on the opening possession. And guess who our Geico difference maker would be for San Diego State? 7th straight 100-yard rushing game for Donnell Pumphrey. He has 188, and there's still a whole lot of football left. So after the fumble, Donnell Pumphrey and the San Diego State offense takes over with a 23-7 lead at rainy Maverick Stadium, Merlin Olsen Field. Christian Chapman, the quarterback, under center. Tosses to Pumphrey on first down. Pumphrey across the 50, and he is drilled by 11 after a gain of 9. Back to what was ruled a fumble.
When we watched this in real speed, I thought that the officials got it right on the field. But in their eyes, they overruled it and said that it was a fumble. I think he's got clear possession. He's going to throw the football. It literally looks like simultaneous timing. And to your point, if the tie goes to the runner, I think that's a really lucky break for San Diego State. And I don't agree with that call.
Pumphrey has a first down. Well, Utah State had a touchdown in their Air Force game overturned by replay. That was a mistake and helped contribute to the first of 3 straight losses by Utah State. They lost that game to Air Force and then lost their next 2. So that's been a topic of discussion around Logan, Utah.
Well, I have a healthy respect for all officials. Those guys work really hard. I've been down to some of their conferences and see the things that they're put through to make sure that they're on top of it. It's a very important job that they have and one they take very seriously. And they, like the rest of us, aren't perfect. But Donnell Pumphrey is. Look at that move, just breaking ankles. There's the elusiveness, his ability to start and stop. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. And now, take a look. His 6th career 200-yard rushing game and his 4th this season.
207 tonight. 300 behind 4th place on the all-time list. Lots of movement prior to 2nd and short.
It's Travis Seafelt making contact, trying to point at the left guard, Nico Siragusa, saying that he was the one that moved that drew him off sides. I think this one's going to be on Seafelt. That'll give San Diego State the first down if so.
Defense number 770 in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, second down.
First down. First down, San Diego State. Jeff Horton says of Donnell Pumphrey, he's the Manny Pacquiao of college football. Pound for pound, the best player.
I love it. And he's built like Pacquiao, too. I mean, there ain't a whole lot of meat on that bone for Donnell Pumphrey. But we've seen him not just be elusive, but he's a between-the-tackles runner. And that's what's going to give the NFL scouts so much trouble to evaluate, is to figure out just how Donnell Pumphrey can help them on the next level.
Rashad Penny into the game, pushes to near the 30-yard line. Anthony Williams on the stop. Pumphrey is listed, and I say listed, at 5'9", 180 pounds. But when it comes to combine time, I think those numbers may change a little bit.
He's going to get up there and take his shirt off. They're going to look at him. It's going to be 168, 172. But I tell you what, he's Darren Sproles meets Warwick Dunn meets Reggie Bush. Kind of a slighter build of all those guys, but he's a type of player in that mold.
Penny on 2nd and 6 as Pumphrey gets a break. That is another rushing first down. Levitt makes a stop on Penny.
I've been really impressed with Dallin Levitt. He's been playing great tonight. Here he is right here. Watch him track this ball. This is one of the bright spots. He's been hurt for most of the year, but he's coming downhill, then gets outside. Just done a nice job of filling the alleys and making tackles out on the perimeter. He's been one of the few bright spots for this Aggie defense. It's been run all the way through. You have to imagine that had he been healthy and out there on the field these last several games, he might have made a difference, and enough of a difference for this defense.
Pumphrey back in on first down. Inside the 15, he will gonna mark him down a yard shy. That's another 9 yards for Pumphrey, who's already gone over 200 for the 4th time this season. 6th time in his career. 4 200 plus in the last 7 games. Pumphrey has by far surpassed Utah State's offensive production.
Incredible. And you mentioned him needing to average, what, 120 plus?
Right.
If you go to a conference championship game. And
that number's coming down.
It's coming down, and they're assured to be in a bowl game. They're already 6-1. With the way they're looking tonight, combination of their run game and their defense, they went out. They very likely will take on a highly rated Boise State team, assuming they don't fumble away their chances to get to the Mountain West Conference championship game. Donnell Pumphrey could be the all-time leading rusher in college football history. And what a difference it would make to this program if San Diego State was the New Year's 6 representative. Think about that now.
Big for the program, big for the conference.
For everybody.
Everybody gains when you're a Group of 5 team and you crack that New Year's 6.
Want to build a stadium on campus or off campus, get a new track.
Pumphrey on 3rd and 1 has another first down, takes it inside the 10. It will be 1st and goal, San Diego State, as we close in on the end of the 3rd.
And this is the area of the field that the Aggies have had some success, bowing their neck, forcing field goals. There's Donnell Pumphrey turning around number 7, Daniel Gray, but the pursuit gets there. Just such an effective runner in small spaces. But because he's barely 180 pounds, durability on the next level is going to be the thing that NFL teams try to evaluate.
1st and goal, Rashad Penny back in the game. Penny, shot back for a loss. Big play by Siwa Taufa. That's his 2nd tackle for a loss in the game.
Siwa Taufa out here on the outside edge, taking on David Wells. Look at that push up front, resetting the line of scrimmage. Wells gives up his chest Carter to block. You have to have leverage. 91 gets leverage, and because of that, his pads are lower, his hands are inside. He drives Wells back and makes a huge tackle in the red zone.
Well, the bright spot for Utah State defensively is holding San Diego State to field goals rather than touchdowns. That's the lone bright spot. Washington wrestled down as he reaches the edge. Gage Ferguson makes a stop. 3rd and goal coming up with 22 seconds left in the 3rd.
Gage Ferguson, another one of the safeties and defenders for the Aggies that have had a relatively nice game. I think there's going to be some things that maybe Utah State defensively can feel good about. There's been a ton of injuries on that back end, but they're getting tremendous safety play tonight.
That's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So we will begin the 4th with 3rd and goal for San Diego State, trying to extend a 23-7 lead. They have scored 23 straight here in Logan, and at the end of the 3rd, 23-7 San Diego State. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.